All right, day number 2, man. We left the spotted bay bass out in the saltwater. We're gonna do some pond fishing today. Actually, we got access to this pond here on the shooting range, and the drone almost got shot down a little bit earlier, but we got my son JC. He's got all of our tools in his Tackle Warehouse backpack. We're using the same rods, same reels, pretty much same line, almost same baits as we did for the spotted bay bass. We're gonna fish this pond. We Googled some other local lakes and ponds that hopefully we can walk around and catch some fish. So we're just kind of doing a freelance. This is what JC does all the time. He always shows me pictures, and so he's the pond hopping expert. So we're gonna see what happens, man. It's gonna be fun. I haven't done this in 20 something years. So pond fishing at its best. Let's do this. There's one. Pond fish. That was cool. They say that there's some shad in here and some crawdads. That's just a little old male, but cool, man. Let him go. Number 1 on the board. Back in the day when I was pond hopping, you know, like spinner baits, obviously topwater baits, things like that were the deal. But now we got, you know, things like the Cinco, you know, a soft stick bait type of thing is always gonna catch fish. You know, JC's throwing a Pompadour, Justin's throwing some kind of saltwater swim bait, which probably will work. But I mean, a big thing with a pond is, you know, different presentations, because obviously, like everybody, you're fishing from the bank. So if you can somehow cast parallel, bring it a different angle than everybody else is doing, you know, you might get bit, but still a lot of fun. I mean, it's like I said earlier, you know, 20 something years ago, I was the kid sneaking around golf courses and doing that. And now, not saying JC's sneaking on golf courses, but it's still a lot of fun. I mean, that's what kept you going, you know, because we didn't have access to boats and all that a lot of times, so fun. So I caught that first little guy on a 7.5 medium heavy ritual angling rod. I mean, on tour, even yesterday, shoot, when I was catching those spotted bay bass with the jig, same rod. Actually, this is the same exact line, 16-pound shooter, Metanium MGL HG, and I just put a little stick worm on there. But you know, this rod right here is like probably my go-to as far as doing a lot of different things. You know, other than reaction baits, that 7.7 reaction bait rod that we make at Ritual Angling is my preferred one for throwing chatterbaits, crankbaits, a lot of topwater baits, I mean spinner baits, everything really. But as far as a down bait or jig, worm, Cinco, Texas rigs, things like that, the 7.5 medium heavy it's my workhorse, you know. The 7.5 heavy, I use that a lot too for bigger stuff, smaller swim baits, you know, bigger worms, bigger jigs, but a 7.5 medium heavy, man, is a good deal. Where are we going?
I'm just coming right here.
Look at, we got another poacher.
I'm trying to cut you off.
Yeah, he's cutting me off.
Obviously.
Probably gonna throw over my line.
100%.
They got a clay rock pile.
Yeah, it's hard bottom. It's like bassing in Baghdad.
Bassing in Baghdad. There he is. Off the pipe. Off the pipe. Whenever you see something, even in a lake, like that pipe right there obviously feeds the lake or drains the lake or something, it's a little pond. That's like it's kind of cool, man. These fish are healthy. You want to fight this one?
Did you catch it on a worm again?
Yeah.
All right, now I'm good.
Wow. Hey, a bite's a bite. Fish will release. JC's going for the juice. He's going to the juice bar. I mean, this pond is pretty cool because it's got that water, like a lot of your golf course ponds. even like farm ponds and stuff, you know, they'll have water running like that. We haven't had a bite there, which is shocking to me. Anytime you're at a pond, like I can remember back in the day, not that I really put that much thought into it, but it makes sense now. I can remember some ponds I used to fish and where I used to catch them. It's no different than a lake. So, you know, your key features, whether it's a log that lays out further in the water, if everything's horizontal and you got one that's laying down, like a reed head like that, and one's laying down, obviously that's going to be your high percentage area. But, you know, if the lake was up or this pond was up a little more, these little sticks like this, if you look around, it's well manicured. So there's not a lot of structure in the pond as far as I can tell, other than shooting clays, which I'm bouncing over all kinds of them. But if that brush right there was out off the bank right now, you'd more than likely get a bite. So no different than fishing in the lake or, you know, like I said. But man, pond fishing can be fun. It's just, you know, you're gonna have tough days at Clear Lake or whatever. Not every time you go to a pond, just because it's a pond, you're just gonna wreck them. So, you know, I remember when I was doing this a lot, I'd have a run of like 6 or 7 places I would hit that afternoon or evening or whatever, and you might catch them at one of them, and the other ones you might only get a couple bites. So, I mean, just because it's a pond doesn't mean you're just gonna come out here and wreck them. But if you have a good little rotation, sooner or later you're gonna run into it. So it's pretty fun, you know. You're surprised we haven't caught one off that water.
That was definitely the first catfish I've caught in over 15 years, and I caught it here on this 3-inch armor shad with a 1/4 ounce Warbaits Underspin, and I'm fishing our R1 series 7-1 medium heavy. Yeah, so I think we've got a couple spots lined up today. When you're pond hopping like this, you got to have a few spots laid out for the day. So in a few minutes here, we'll go check out a couple other spots that we found on the maps.
Going. All right, man, it's been a kind of a fun, interesting day. We've pond hopped for green bass, and now we ended up bank beating back here where actually we just fished the other day, right here in this little eddy or cut or whatever you want to call it. Yep. But we ended up catching a halibut. Pat caught a halibut, you caught a smelt.
Yeah.
And Daniel and I each caught a spotty right here at the end of the day. So it's kind of cool. And again, you know, the whole point of this whole thing has been the crossover. Same reels, same ritual angling rods, pretty much same line, similar type of baits, a little bit of variance, but you caught a big fish of the day, the catfish. I think it tore you up.
Yep, I got torn up by a catfish at that gun club.
Yeah, I think you caught it on that bait, and I just caught a spotty on it.
Yep.
So I mean, you know, the crossover is real similar, and man, it's been a lot of fun though. I mean, the freeway is right here, and we're catching bass on the bank.
Yep, it's cool. It's a pretty unique opportunity where we live to be able to just have 1 or 2 rods and be able to jump from freshwater to saltwater and fish the same baits and catch salted and unsalted bass. It's cool. I'm gonna have to kind of maybe beat my kids or my son and his friends out to the local ponds. Like when they're at school, sneak out. It kind of started a little fire in me to do this more. Cool. Although
I got a nice boat in the garage though too. So.
Yeah, you do that.
But there is something to, you know, there's a huge value in tromping around and figuring things out on your own and figuring out the right depths and structures and stuff. So that's really cool.
Most people don't have a boat, you know, so it's cool for them to be able to just go switch ponds to the saltwater bays and be able to fish the same gear.
So we're gonna go catch a big tuna on a 7-Eleven ritual angling rod. Do you think that's gonna work?
No, sir.
No.
No.
Why?
We'll make bait on those rods for the sabiki, but yeah, we'll need some heavier
gear. Can we try though?
We can try. It'll make for good edits.
We're gonna tear some stuff up.
Maybe a bunch of expletives.
But, hey, make sure and check out this vlog's gear giveaway and like, share, and tag a friend. And I guess I'll promote the heck out of it when we're gonna go do this tuna thing. Thanks again for your time, man.
Yeah, right on.